What's keeping China or Iran or Russia or anyone else? If it's going to be out of the country, it's going to be out of our control, right? I mean, why would you do that? Why in God's name would the American government want to give Iran, North Korea, China, Russia, the West Europeans, the East Europeans, anybody control it? Do you know what? You can say what you want about the United States. At least we're fair when it comes to the internet. We're not doing the kind of things that would screw people over, and that's what's happening. So why would you give that up? You need to be calling your senators, you need to be calling your congressmen, and you need to tell them, hey, don't give up. Do something to stop Obama and his executive orders giving away control of the internet. Why would you want Iran or Russia, for crying out loud? The same Democrats who are complaining that Russia's hacking their DNC emails and hacking everything else, you're going to give them control of the internet? Really? Where's the common sense in that? And yet Barack Obama thinks it's the feel-good thing to do. Let's give away control to an international organization of some. Well, like who? The UN? Really? You want to give it to the UN? What have they done in Haiti? Ask yourself that. Ask how the UN performs in Africa. The UN is another useless international tool run by crony capitalists. You can't have that. It's just insane that people would even think about it. All right, well, let's move on to Hillary Clinton since we're here and talk about her latest episode. The House is trying to hold her up for perjury since the FBI and Director Comey won't hold her responsible for what she did with the private email server and the disposal of 33,000 emails. House Republicans are looking at trying another venue to go after her. Derek, you got track 3 ready? Let's play that.
Two leading House Republicans urged the Justice Department to file perjury charges against Hillary Clinton on Monday. The GOP heads of the House Judiciary and Oversight Committees pointed out specific areas where they believed that Clinton had lied to Congress under oath. These lawmakers claimed the Democratic nominee lied at least 4 separate times during her appearance before the House Select Committee on Benghazi. Although the FBI has declined to indict Clinton for mishandling classified information, Monday's letter indicates the GOP's continued insistence on pursuing legal consequences. The Oversight Committee also released a 2.5-minute video highlighting apparent inconsistencies in Clinton's testimony. The Justice Department is currently reviewing information and is willing to take appropriate action should they find reason to.
All right, part of that video that they're talking about, too, has already been showing up in ads against Hillary Clinton as well. So here again, she's been caught lying red-handed, right? Caught lying red-handed, and yet she's getting a pass again from the FBI. She's getting a pass from everybody. Now, they're asking the same Justice Department that won't prosecute her for the emails and the server, they're asking her to prosecute for perjury. You know that's not going to go anywhere, but at least they're making that attempt. What else did Hillary Clinton do yesterday? She wanted to blame her use of the private email server on what? On Colin Powell. Derek, you got track 4. Let's go with that.
Hillary Clinton is pointing the finger at Colin Powell for her private email trouble. The New York Times is reporting that during her July interview with the FBI, Clinton reportedly told them that it was Powell who advised her to use her own personal email account. The New York Times also corroborates the claim, citing information from an advanced copy of the book, Man of the World, The Further Endeavors of Bill Clinton. An excerpt at a 2009 dinner party from the book reportedly reads, Powell told her to use her own email as he had done, except for classified communications. In a statement to Reuters, Powell's office said that he had no recollection of the conversation, but, quote, did write former Secretary Clinton an email memo describing his use of his personal AOL email account for unclassified messages and how it vastly improved communications within the State Department. Powell has said that his use of personal email was prompted by the State Department not having a fully functional email system when he joined in 2001.
Okay, number one, I'm amazed that they didn't have a fully functioning email system in 2001. That's the government, for crying out loud. But anyways, but the part you should hear from that was when he said, except for classified information. And Hillary Clinton, according to James Comey, the director, did use send and receive classified information on her private email server and account. So once again, it's Hillary Clinton being treated special and being treated differently than those of us, the rest of us. And here's a case in point. A U.S. Navy sailor facing prison time over photos. He had 6 photos he took with his cell phone while he was inside a nuclear attack submarine. They were like selfies, right? Well, unfortunately, inside a nuclear submarine is classified information, even if it's just the bulkhead or something. And so Petty Officer First Class Christian Saucier, 29, will be sentenced this week in federal court, having pleaded guilty in May to unlawful retention of national defense information. It was a charge leveled against him under the 1917 Espionage Act. 10-year Navy veteran and machinist aboard the USS Alexandria, Saucier was charged with his cell phone after his cell phone with several photos taken inside the attack submarine was found in the trash in March of 2012. 6 photos on his phone, and he's got to now spend a year in prison because he had his lawyer plead that, hey, you let Hillary Clinton off, no biggie, there was no intent there, and Hillary Clinton said she had no intent as well, let me off. Well, he got sentenced this week. He got 1 year in prison for taking photos inside a nuclear submarine and leaving them on his phone. All right, so that, to all you guys in the military, be careful what photos you take, where, and wherever, because you know what? You're not going to get the Clinton privilege, and that's what I hashtag out on Twitter right now. Clinton privilege, you take your white privilege and whatever, it's the Clinton privilege because she gets treated so much differently than everybody else. Navy sailor was sentenced Friday to a year in prison for taking the photos. And he's going to have to be monitored for a 3-year period as well. So imagine that. How about monitoring Hillary Clinton for a 3-year period? It's just amazing to me. And then let's see if we can get to Derek. How much time do we have? 3 minutes. Okay, so we're good. I wanted to stop and talk about, you've seen a lot of news this last week. Donald Trump's not capable of being in control of nuclear codes. People are worried that he's too temperamental, that he's not qualified to be in charge of the nuclear codes. Well, we want to talk about old foot-and-mouth Joe Biden. You got, that would be track 5. Let's play. This is Joe talking about Donald Trump being unqualified. And listen very carefully to what he says.
And I can say without hesitation, my word as a Biden, no major party nominee in the history of the United States of America has, no, don't cheer or quiet, just listen, has known less or been less prepared to deal with our national security than Donald Trump. Someone who lacks this judgment cannot be trusted. There's a guy that follows me, right back here, has the nuclear codes. So God forbid if anything happened to the president and I had to make a decision.
All right, well, there you go, Derek. Let's stop right there. So anyways, he's outing his own nuclear code carrier with him. Imagine that. The stupidity is just incredible. All right, so we're done. Until next week, make sure you go to thedailydrift.com and look us up and email me, Gary@thedailydrift.com if you have questions. See you then.